cardiovascular diseases is a major killer in the developed and developing nations such as India as well. So, how can we address this problem through food and nutrition?
Yeah, it's true. Even in India, as you rightly said, that is almost 29% of the mortality, the death happens due to cardiovascular problem. And it is the number one killer, both in the developing and the developed world. Of course, earlier it used to be infectious diseases, today it is the systemic diseases. Among the systemic diseases, it is the cardiovascular problem. But if the food and nutrition link to cardiovascular problem, as it is very well identified today, is the number one everybody knows. There are three major causes, three recognized causes, well recognized causes connected very closely to cardiovascular problem. One, of course, everybody knows, the excess of cholesterol, particularly the LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, lipidemia, dyslipidemia, and excess cholesterol is the problem. So, cholesterol, then of course it has medical remedies like statin drugs, and it's a major business in the world today. Most of the big pharmaceutical companies make a huge profit out of statin drugs, and cholesterol has been considered as a prime cause for the cardiovascular problem. Equally important is the vitamin B12. See, particularly in India, almost 40% Indians are vegetarians, as per Hindu, CNN, IBN studies. So, but when vegetarians, of course, they are not pure vegetarians, because they are also called as lacto-ova vegetarians, because they take milk and egg sometimes. So, we do get B12 through these non-vegetarian sources. B12 is an animal origin vitamin. So, that problem is something that I think we have overlooked. There is a dire need to see a serious link of deficiency of vitamin B12 among the vegetarians in particular. Even the meat eating people are not like the other meat eating countries. Our average national consumption is about 5 kilo, and the poorer they are, the lesser they can consume. We need to look at this B12 deficiency, because vitamin B12 deficiency leads to metabolic disorder. That is a kind of what you call as a homocysteine, the amino-acid metabolism. So, there is a problem associated with the amino-acid metabolism. It builds up, and that is an independent risk factor for cardiovascular problem. The other problem, particularly in the Indian context, every cardiologist agrees with this, that we have a high triglyceride problem, just like the cholesterol problem. The high triglyceride has less to do, though it is a fat, it is less to do with the fat intake, more to do with the refined carbohydrate.
Okay.
Because if we are eating a whole lot of, typically, as I've said in many other programs, that we South Indians in particular eat mountain of rice and river of sambar, and refined rice, white rice, purely whitened, rice. So, that lack of fiber and complex carbohydrate, that leads to triglyceride production. So, triglyceride is a fatty acid, so you have a close connection with the refined carbohydrate, and I think that is one of the major reasons. You see the triglyceride profile, when you do it, most of the Indians have a wrong triglyceride. So, I would say these three reasons, the less focused, like refined carbohydrate, refined starch, and consequent high level of triglyceride, B12 deficiency, and amino acid metabolism going wrong, and then of course the cholesterol. So, but these are the three reasons that you can pick and choose and connect the cause and effect relationship. But the rest of the phenomena, like the wholesome food, the fruits and the vegetables and the phytonutrient, now they say the plant RNA roams in our blood, and it can switch off a wrong gene and switch on a right gene. You see, so the gene expressions and suppressions and all the disease manifestations are connected with what you eat, whether you can keep the wrong gene suppressed, by eating right food. So, of course, you cannot eat right food for the heart, kidney, liver, and lung. You can't be picking food for. People ask me sometimes. People ask me that my kid is going for the exam. Is there a food for a better memory? Then I counter ask them, is it for physics or chemistry? You tell me, then I can advise a diet for it. So you can't pick and choose for a subject, for an organ, a specific diet. You need to focus on the overall diet. wholesome food and nutritious food. Typically they talk about 400 gram of vegetables in our ICMR recommendation, 400 gram of vegetables and 200 grams of fruits every day. And how many of us are consuming? And these antioxidants, the fibers and the phytonutrients, they give you a whole lot of help in being able to prevent diseases and promote health. See, disease prevention and health promotion is something that has got to do with the food and ecosystem. Food is a very, very vital link because that is an internalized ecosystem. So I think as far as cardiovascular problem, wholesome life, of course, stress has a huge factor, and then there is biological clock and circadian rhythm, and also there were gut microbes and whole lot of things. So the natural way of living, for example, you see there is natural connection when we talk about natural living. Recently the report says, scientific report says that if you have to have healthy gut microbes, the child should be born naturally. Of course, in rare cases the WHO say up to 10% caesarean operations do happen to avoid the risk and all that. That is okay. But today Brazil became the first country in the world recently where 53% of children born were born through C-section.
Yeah, I think it's slowly catching up in India as well.
It's catching up. So I am saying that there is the link like that in the natural, the very birth. See, because when in the womb it is what you call sterile, and the moment you are born out of the womb, then you catch the healthy microbe from the mother. And today they are talking about a dynamic link between microbiome and the human genome. So they are doing the microbiome mapping. So to connect the microbe, the gut microbes and the microbes in and on us, and the connection between our gene, is there a collaborative arrangement? Is there a give and take between them? Our health depends on health is an ecosystem function.
Correct.
And food and nutrition is a dominant part of it. So you will have a heart health, the lung health and the liver health, provided this preventive aspect of health. Food and nutrition is well taken care.
Right. Yeah. So you mean to say that there is no specific food for each organ. So right food is what is needed to have better health.
Very true. Very true. You see, you can't have piecemeal solutions.
Right.
You can't seek solutions in bits and parts. People, even in exercise, people say, I come here and do a cardio exercise. Come here and do a liver exercise.
Right.
See, in yoga, they say, what is yoga? Yoga is a steady and easy position.
Correct.
So, you see, you need to deconstruct these myths that we have created around, all these, the body functions and things like that. So, wholesome food and natural life as much as possible, less stress. Of course, most of our problems are perception related, psychological related, and prejudice and preconceived notions. See, the problems of illusion is much intangible problems are a bigger problem for human being than tangible problems.
Correct.
So, if you look at this, the very definition of WHO on health, that the physical, mental, social, spiritual well-being, I think that sums up what the health is all about. And the food and nutrition and a whole lot of other things, ecosystem, so there's a lot of pollutants up there in the air today. There is a particle matter or the nitrous oxide and a whole lot of pollution that exists there. And we should also look at whether we have a livable planet Earth. And healthy food system. So that will definitely, I'm sure ultimately, of course, we all have to die, but the grave need not be the goal of life.
Got it. Yeah.
We can lead a healthy life, healthy moment, every moment, and here and now, and that's what is most important, and that is possible. And in fact, good food, is very, in a sense, it almost, you almost feel a sense of liberation by eating a real healthy food and enjoying that food. Because you cannot divorce your food from pleasure principles. That there is a blissful status associated with, as they say, the Lord is rasa. You need to enjoy your food.
Very true.
Yeah, you need not be disease centric.
Correct.
Sickness seeking. We can change this whole thing. Thomas Alva Edison long back had said that the future doctors should not be focused on illness but on wellness.
Right. Yeah, I mean, as you said, like, not being at ease is disease.
Yes, yes.
So another question that that I want to ask is like, is obesity also a big cause for heart diseases?
Certainly, certainly obesity is, see, so obesity could be linked to the dyslipidemia, the fat accumulation, the refined food. See, see, you see, this kind of a cluster kind of a diseases, like you have diabetes, it's connected to cardiovascular problem, it's connected to the other problems. So you have, you see, you have a stroke, so you have one thing leading to another. Obesity becomes the basis.
Correct.
That the other gives chance for other manifestations.
Right.
So the overall, if you see again, should you consider obesity as a disease? So the people are saying that to treat obese people as mentally sick people. There was a huge debate in the US last year when the DSM-5 came out, the manual for treating the
obese
the depression and
okay.
Psychological issues. They wanted to define obesity as a
mental
sickness, because that's a great opportunity to treat people, I mean, commercially. So I think that there are solutions beneath the nose.
Right.
There are simple solutions, like Mark Twain saying, how to double money. He said, fold it twice and put it in your pocket.
Correct, exactly.
So I think we have forgotten the simple solutions, subtle solutions that are there in our hands, that are commonsensical in approach.
Right.
Then you need not intellectualize.
Right.
See, we are caught in the intellectual exercise. We are caught in our own coil of this whole intellectualization.
Right. So as you said, like, obesity is mainly because of not eating right food, right?
Certainly.
Also at the same time, like, you need some exercises every day, at least walking about 10,000 steps.
Yes.
So
yes, yeah, of course, this highly mechanized world, you have problem, but you see, it's very important that you eat the right food. That solves much of the problem, and then be physically active.
right.
Whether you have 100 solutions, there are 100 differentiated yogas available there, 100 exercises, tools, techniques, you name, you have there. So each one is focused on the human body, but we are less focused on preventive aspects, less focused on ecological issues, less focused on the real causes.
Right.
See, the real cause we should be, see, it's like if you have it is a public problem. You can't ask individuals to evolve their own solutions for this problem. So it has to be treated like a systemic problem, a public problem, like air, water, food, nutrition. You can't let the market to rig this. You need market, you need commerce, you need industry, but then you can't say that a disease is a great opportunity.